What's up, friends? Today I'll show you how to create a track in the style of Sweely, featuring groovy minimal rhythms, rich textures, and bold bass lines. First, set your project to 132 BPM. We'll also configure the groove tool and load the preset Swing MPC Funker 1670. This swing type brings that subtle, organic rhythmic push typical of analog-flavored house productions. Be sure to set the amount between 60% and 80% to make it noticeable but not overdone. With this basic kick pattern, we begin. We use a dry, punchy kick, playing on each quarter note to establish a steady and solid rhythm from the start. Choose a sample with fast attack and set a short decay so it doesn't clash with other elements. Place it on the off beats to enhance the groove. Now we add a short, dry clap to complement the snare without crowding the mix. Make sure it has a crisp attack, and apply the groove preset to the MIDI pattern to keep the rhythmic flow consistent. Use a steady snare on beats 2 and 4. Pick a sample with a sharp attack and dry texture, no added effects. It should cut through without clashing with the kick, keeping the groove tight. This pattern is for the shaker. We apply the previously configured swing to keep it grooving with the rest of the track. Set a short decay so it stays tight, and add random panning to create stereo movement. Finally, tune it slightly higher to taste so it cuts through the mix while staying cohesive. We duplicate the closed hi-hat layer and use the new track to add open hats for extra movement. Place them strategically like on the last off beats of each bar or at section changes. Apply the same groove preset to keep the rhythm cohesive, and tweak the decay to avoid excessive delay. For more variation, try subtle pitch or pan changes between hits. Now we add a percussion loop sidecane to the kick to keep the mix tight. Then we apply a vocoder effect, modulated by a MIDI layer using a serum lead, where we program notes based on the key of the track. This keeps the melodic texture in tune with the overall harmony. Make sure to turn off the input layer of the serum synth, so the dry signal doesn't play along with the vocoder. This prevents signal doubling and keeps the mix clean and tight. We enhance the percussion section with a chorus FX for depth and subtle modulation, plus autopan to create stereo motion. Additionally, we insert an erosion FX, bringing in gritty texture and a slight lo-fi feel, perfect for giving the rhythm more character without overwhelming the mix. The project is really coming together. Every layer is sitting right, the groove flows naturally, and the added textures bring depth without cluttering the mix. The direction of the track is clear, and that unique vibe we're aiming for is starting to shine through. You can already feel the energy building. Now we'll craft the bass line using serum with sounds from the Beat the Dip Minimal House Pack, Keck House Pack, and the Favorites folder. These presets offer punchy, textured bass tones with the right movement for this style. Test a few until you find one that locks in with the vibe of your track. The key we'll use for this example is G minor. Make sure the bass, chords, and any melodic elements are tuned to this scale to keep the musical flow cohesive and support the groove effectively. We duplicate the bass layer and load another bass preset on the new track to add extra weight or character. You can go for a brighter tone, a more aggressive texture, or something rhythmically different depending on the contrast you want. Make sure it's tuned to G minor and apply the same groove preset to keep the swing consistent. On the second bass layer, we apply a high-pass filter to cut the low end and prevent clashes with the main bass. This keeps the low frequencies clean and controlled. We also apply sidecane to the kick on both layers to preserve punch and ensure the kick remains dominant in the mix. Now we dig into our favorite serum presets to find a pluck with some echo or delay, perfect for adding texture and movement. We follow this pattern or something similar, staying in the G minor key. The delay fills space without cluttering, and the pluck adds rhythmic and melodic flavor to support the groove. Now we add a serum lead using one of my favorite presets, perfect for cutting through the mix with a bright, defined tone. On this layer, we insert the Tantra plugin and load the FLT Aurora preset, which adds rhythmic movement and texture through its built-in modulations. This brings the lead to life without needing complex automation. We add a compressor to control the dynamics and apply cytokine with the kick. This lets the kick cut through without overpowering the lead, creating that classic pumping effect that adds movement to the groove. We add a texture loop to fill the background and create a broader atmosphere. Then we bring in a hi-hat loop to enhance the top end and reinforce the groove, plus a percussion loop that adds rhythm and natural variation. Make sure all loops are time-aligned with the project tempo and apply the groove preset if needed to stay rhythmically consistent. We apply an automated filter on the kick and bass, which engages during the break and turns off just before the drop, creating a powerful contrast and opening up space before the main groove kicks back in. In the first break, we add a crash at the start to signal the transition. We include down filter and up filter effects, placed manually to build tension. A reverse FX adds a dragging, suspenseful layer. The break wraps up with a step program snare roll, building intensity purely through note placement. All the serum presets, samples, and loops used in this project are from my favorite Beat the Dip minimal house and tech house packs. Links will be available in the description. During the break, we add an atmospheric loop with glitch vocals to bring texture and a more abstract vibe. This layer supports the FX and snare roll, enhancing the feeling of space and tension leading into the drop. Keep it in the background, with low-end frequencies filtered out by EQ, so it doesn't clash with other elements. And that's how we build a basic track structure inspired by Sweely, with tight rhythms, rich textures, and melodic flow. From here, I encourage you to try out more of my favorite minimal and tech house presets, included in my Beat the Dip pack. Check the link in the description to take your sound further. That wraps up this walkthrough on building a bold, minimal house foundation. If you enjoyed it and want more tips, sounds, and creative techniques, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat. All links to my packs, presets, and resources are in the description.